Yeah.
We're live now.
Is everything?
Dun, 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 dun. You know that song, right?
I don't know that song. What song is that?
Oh, you say it too? Oh, you don't know. I'll play it later.
Okay.
All right. So what's up? What are you trying to talk about?
I'm trying to talk about life. You get
Life?
me? Yeah.
What do you know about life?
I know a lot, man. I've been around for a long time.
A long
A
time.
very long
I
time.
heard you're like 85.
You can't. I forgot how old I
Yo, this dude can
am. It's been
sing.
so long. It's been so long. I forgot.
Okay, I
Yeah.
respect that. I respect that. So what have you learned from life so far? One thing that you could take away from life if somebody
Right.
Mhm.
I think from life,
Mhm.
I've learned that happiness is very important.
Okay.
You know, and I feel like you don't need to achieve it to be able to know that. You know, like a lot of people, because you tell them about happiness, they think you already got there or like you have everything figured out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not always the case. That's something I learned recently. Like the people that actually preach happiness,
Right.
they're still working on being happy.
Mm.
I mean, at least some of them might be working on being happy or staying happy.
Right.
You know, it's just something I was talking about with my boy last time. Like, it's hard to get to that level where you're just happy by nature, right? Where you're finally happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's even harder to maintain that state where you just stay happy.
Right.
Because a lot could come
So
to you.
it's one thing to be happy and to stay happy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think, you know, that's something I learned recently.
Right.
That staying happy is also hard. You know, because
Okay.
things could come at you and then you just lose it.
Right.
And how do you keep that same
So
level?
like I have two questions. Before we went live, you actually said one thing that stood out to me. What was it? You said that you can life is too short for you to schedule
Your happiness. Yeah.
Okay.
Life is too
I
short,
need
man.
you to talk about that, but hold on to that. Before you actually talk about that, what's your definition for happiness?
I think that would depend.
How do you know you're happy? Well, for you personally,
For me
not for
personally,
everybody out
Not
there.
for everybody. Well, to me, happiness is just a state of mind, honestly. And anything that takes away from that state of mind is not happiness. So if you feel like happiness to you is to be able to provide for your family,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Right.
and then you are in that state,
Mm-hmm. Then you're happy.
then you're happy.
Right.
You know?
And then once you get to that state, you said you have to be able to stay happy. So
Right.
meaning that you have to be able to keep providing for your
Right.
family. Okay.
And maybe I'll take that back. Happiness shouldn't just be like that. It shouldn't be being able to provide for your family. So
you use an example.
right,
Not something-
that was just an example, right?
Right.
Because even if you can't provide for your family, you should still be happy regardless.
Right.
Even though
Depend on your definition for your happiness.
for your happiness.
Right.
But to me, mainly though, I think happiness has to do with my mindset. Like where I just want my head to be. I don't want no headache.
So
That's all.
it's not a material stuff where you're like, oh, happiness is the car that I got,
Definitely
the
not.
clothes that I wear,
Definitely
the attention that I get from people.
Not. See, that's my thing, man. To me, I feel like people that actually go after stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
they could be happy, but they're not likely to be happy. That's just how I see it. I'm not throwing
That means
shit
your
at anybody.
happiness, right? Your happiness is dependent on people, and if people don't feel like giving you
Right.
attention, then that
you
means that
can't
you're
be
not
happy. Right.
And
Then
how can you keep?
you have a
people to-
problem.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
you have a huge problem.
Right.
If you like cars, right, or like if you happy because you just got that new Ferrari,
Right.
there's a better Ferrari out there. Are you gonna be sad because somebody has a newer version?
That's crazy.
If that means that's what brings you happiness, if it's something that you could actually point out, you have a problem. That's how I say it.
Mm.
If you're really seeking your happiness, it should be coming from within, from
Within.
inside.
Okay. Respect.
You know,
So now we're going right back to one thing that you said, which was what was it?
do not you
Oh.
can't
Schedule your happiness.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of us just talk about, oh, I want to be happy. Oh, not just I want to be happy. I like, oh, I'll be so happy if I could achieve this.
Right.
Or I would be so happy on my birthday if this person shows up. You know, or like I will be happy on Friday when I get my paycheck.
That's right.
You know, so I don't think it should be like that. Well,
Right.
it's not. It's not that I don't think it shouldn't be like that. Because some people would actually schedule their happiness in a way where like they tell you,
Right.
that it's not right. It's not great right now, but we gonna be happy. We gonna make this work, or we gonna get there, or whatever they
Right.
want to call it. So you just scheduling your happiness. So what are we doing in the meantime? Are we just gonna be unhappy until we get there? Like,
right.
and the worst part is that you don't even know if you're gonna be around for that long. Some
Right.
people schedule their happiness for 2021.
Let me tell you. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me
Yeah.
tell you about a story that happened. Literally, I don't need nobody because this is somebody my my brother actually knows.
Mm.
A person that when they were in school,
Mm.
they're smart. They're, book smart and everything, and they like studied hard and everything. They wanted to go into the science field. And in college, I heard like she spent her whole year studying back and forth. And like I think the last day of college for them, like in terms of she's done with everything, and she wanted to go out with her friends, but before they go out, they decided to step out to go grab something to eat. I think it was high school, not college, high school, and she was gonna step out to go grab cake, and she's never, they lived on campus, and back home you cannot leave campus to go anywhere unless you get a permission. Right, so she stepped out with her friends, and they decided to go grab something to eat. Out of nowhere, a car went crazy. A truck car just hit her.
Wow.
Cut her into two.
Wow.
That way, I don't know if she was happy before she left this world or what. But the point is, if her idea of happiness is after I graduate,
Right. That is sad.
yeah,
And that's a sad story. But it's the reason why I said, like, when I said you can't schedule your happiness, is that the way I personally live my life, I
Right.
try at least to live my life in a way where even if I die tomorrow, like, I don't mind. It's like,
right. That's the thing.
right. I just don't mind because I feel like yesterday was the best version of yesterday.
Right.
I made the best out of yesterday. Like, I
Right.
got the best out of yesterday.
For instance, today I'm assuming if happiness is today recording this podcast for people to listen,
Right.
you're having a great time
Right
at
now.
the moment.
I'm telling you, I'm
That's what I'm
excited,
saying.
bro. Like, I'm so
Exactly.
excited to be here right now.
Let
This-
them know.
This is my first time speaking. I don't even like my voice. This is my first time talking in a
Hearing
mic.
your voice, right?
Hearing my voice back. But
Uh-huh.
I don't care because I'm just happy doing it. I've
Right.
been dying to do this. I
Right.
was excited,
Okay. Okay.
I flew back to New York for this. You get
That's
me?
what I'm talking about.
You
Yeah.
get me? So
Right.
I'm really happy for this. And also, like, something else that, we said, like, people would say, oh, I would be happy if I could have a 6 foot tall man and
Right.
a dark skinned man and like a very muscular man or a skinny man, whatever your taste is, right? So if that's what makes you happy, or if that's what makes you feel fulfilled,
Hit up
What-
Justin.
and nah, I'm not dark enough, right? And I'm not tall enough, so don't hit me up, man. You just, you just gonna miss. Anyway,
Okay.
if that's what makes you happy,
Right.
imagine you are with the love of your life
Right.
because of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just feel like you're happy now because of it, and then they get sick. Are you gonna stick around? Are you gonna move on and go get the next version? Because people often ask me, why do you not have a taste? Why do you not
Mhm.
have a type? Or
Mhm.
why do you not care so much about the physical aspect of people? But it's because that could always fade away. I could like you because you're tall right now. You could get hit by a car and then you have to be in a wheelchair forever.
Right.
So do I stop liking you? Do I stop loving you? Do I stick to the relationship and be unhappy? Do I move on to the next one and deal with whatever comes with that too? Like,
Mhm.
nothing is promised, right?
Right.
So this might sound like a little off topic, but
Yeah,
even
it is.
happiness in
I
the
was going to
relationship.
talk about that.
Right.
It isn't. Because literally, I was going to say, I like to ask people personally when they come into my life. I don't know if I ask people, I was like, so what if I got in an accident, like you said, or I asked them basically, it has nothing to do with me. Like, would you be with a person that is sitting in a wheelchair that cannot, be sexually active or whatever? Do you see yourself loving somebody like that? And usually when I say that, you're like, I never thought about it before.
Right.
Because they don't think like that. And really, like good looks, how you, the external stuff, even good sex, all this kind of stuff. I know it comes in the package. People be like, I can't do things with you until we're in a relationship or until we're married or all this kind of stuff. I respect all of that. But usually, they don't also, they forget to know that even when you get married to somebody, even when it comes to sex, at some point it's going to stop.
Right.
Naturally.
Yeah.
It's gonna, either you get tired of it or
Right.
you grow, you get too old for it.
Right.
Happiness is, if you're with this person, if you're not having sex, if they don't look the way they look when you met them,
Right.
all this kind of stuff, do you actually have a great time talking
Right.
to them? That's my idea.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. Like, you can't just pinpoint. That's why when people ask me, why do you like me so much? I mean, Not to be personal. When anybody asks you what do you like so much about me, if it's anything tangible, I think it might not be able to last long because it has to be something you can't even like pinpoint. You know, whatever what is sex or their booties, their breasts, whatever you like about them is on.
Now you can pay for it even.
Right, you can just pay for all of that, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, if you take all of that away, am I still gonna be happy around you? That's what counts.
Right. I feel like you've said everything that there is to say, and if we keep going in circles, it's just like you keep saying happiness over and over.
Right, and I don't
also
want to
know. Yeah. I also do know that the beat that those times. Where, I know you've seen those memes where it's like you're arguing with somebody, and it's like you had a great point, but you never remembered it on the spot, and then after the whole conversation, you get up and damn it, I could have said that. It happened to me recently. But yeah,
and also I don't want us to sound like cliche or like everybody just trying to talk about happiness because there's so many times we said happiness already right now, but it's not a problem. But when I walk through life or whatever, just in life in general, like I see so many people just being unhappy, and in my mind it's just like all it takes you to be happy is for you to decide to be happy, even though it's harder, but you just have to decide to be happy and just stop
fake it till you make it,
right?
But it's not like about faking your happiness, but like you said, it's a state of mind. If you tell yourself I'm not happy,
do something.
Nobody can fix it. No, like I can fix the idea that you are not happy. But if you tell yourself, I actually sent a meme to somebody recently. I was like, the only way you could go through life if you develop the "it is what it is" mentality. It is what it is mentality.
Right, that's me.
Because the problem is if you keep living in this world and you keep telling yourself, oh, okay, I didn't get that, I'm not happy, or I asked for that and they didn't give me that, or my partner didn't give me this, everything, whatever you name it to be, it's kind of annoying because you, once again, we said if your happiness is coming from somebody, you're not guaranteed that they always make you happy. So when it comes to me being with somebody, my idea of happiness is doing everything that makes that person happy. When I see the person happy, I'm happy.
That's nice. That's me to a certain extent, but sometimes I'm scared of that. Even though that's
explain.
me.
I want to go into this topic.
I want to say that's like me completely. So say I'm with somebody, whether it's a partner or just a friend. If you are happy, I am even happier. Now I'll be the happiest if I'm the reason why you're happy. Right. But it's very scary because my friend, shout out to my friend Rose. She told me that you could, if you don't replenish yourself, you can't replenish anybody. You can't fill anybody up. You would run out, So I guess I'm at that level right now where it's like, I care for you. I want you to be happy. If you're happy, it makes me happy. But if you don't care for me at all, it's not healthy. If all you want is for me to make you happy, it's not healthy. And it's only a matter of time before you realize it and before you start getting hurt because you feel neglected at some point. And the main reason why we treat people a certain way, the main reason, I might not be able to say it, but now I'm just going to say it because I have yet to figure it out. But I think we treat people nicely only because we want to be treated the same way. So I can't be treating you nicely and all you're trying to do is just take away from it. Like, just take it and take it.
Okay, so then here's it. I would have to, fix that for people that are listening because you knew that I meant it in a good way. So let me fix what I said real quick before people run out and be like, oh, this guy is trying to be a yes man, trying to cause people to be happy and then he be foolish. Let me fix that. So when I said that, it was a mentality of both ways. But I spoke for my version because you cannot guarantee that somebody will make you happy. But let me fix that. So I personally have come to realize that in this world, everything you say or do, even when it comes to U.S. the Constitution, everything can be used against you or for you, depending on how you go about it. So every statement you make in general, like if you're dealing with a smart person, they could twist what you said and throw it right back to your face. So when I said my idea of happiness when it comes to me dealing with somebody, basically what I'm trying to say is even when it comes to how you make me happy, right? My idea of how you can make me happy is don't treat me nice based on what I do for you. Got you. That's what it is. So I want the same goal that I have, a perfect relationship to me or a perfect marriage, whatever it is. It's a relationship where after you said working on yourself in general, making sure that you're mentally right and you're capable of dealing with somebody. Because if you feel like you can't deal with nobody, wait till you get that figured out. Because you can always usually, lose yourself in the process of dealing with somebody else. Because you can't even trust yourself to begin with. So that's always at the back of my mind. I can't trust myself. I can't trust the other person. But then if you take that mentality into a relationship too, it's not gonna work, because then if there's a problem with that, it's a conversation for another day. But what I am saying is, when you're trying to make me happy, don't make me happy because of the things that I do, or the things what the things that provide for you.
Right.
Because what happens is, if you think that is the way to, that means that, like, when it comes to a time where you don't have that at a given time, and say, like, I got busy, because maybe when we started a relationship, I give you X amount of time, then I got a different job.
Right.
So at this moment, I cannot give you that kind of time that got you to, like me in the beginning stages. You're gonna start saying, oh, things are different now. You don't give me time anymore, so, like, I don't like you anymore.
Right.
Things have changed. Meaning that this whole time you liked me based on
What
the things that I was providing for you
you.
physically or whatever.
Right.
If it was money, you liked me because of money.
Right.
But if you end up liking me for me, and that's a cliche, but if you use that mentality that I gave you, you're treating me. If I'm happy, then you're happy, and if you're happy, I'm happy based on how I'm treating you. We create a computer science, a loop.
Right.
A loop that will never be broken, because
Right.
my idea of happiness is making you happy.
Right.
And your idea of happiness is when you see me happy. And that can actually always happen in sexual activities too, because if you're having sex and it's all about me feeling good, you're about to be done, and then
Right.
the person's sitting out like.
Right.
So it's about making sure that, oh, wow, you're enjoying that.
Yeah.
And then they're also, reciprocating
Right.
me, and it's like, yeah.
And I think that's just true on every level. Whether it's sex, is like
Right.
treating your partner nicely, or like whatever you want to call it. It has to be based on stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of people today, right? Maybe I might just switch it up a little. They just, I feel like they have a lot. Well, we all have work to do on ourselves,
Right.
because we have so many, stuff that we're dealing with, so many traumas and stuff. But most people, they fall for stuff like that, and they end up in a relationship like that because they're not very intentional with the relationship.
Right.
Like, I feel like in the beginning of a relationship, in the very beginning, right, you should be able to, like, be very intentional, like, set up certain things. I'll give you this amount of time, but I need you to work on yourself.
Right.
I need you to keep busy if I'm not around.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just going through the relationship as, this is just life, we're just loving this. To me, a relationship needs to be worked on a daily basis.
Right.
So whatever, the very beginning of the relationship, it's not about, oh, we spend a lot of time together. You feeling all these butterflies, whatever. To me, that's not a healthy relationship.
Right.
A healthy relationship needs to be worked on. You need to set it up. What do you like? Do you like attention? I can only give you so much. What do I like? I prefer this. I prefer that. I need you to give me some of that. Do you think you could work it out? Do you think it's something you would enjoy doing for me? Do I think it's something I would enjoy doing for you? And we create a basis, right? And then from there, we work together. Even if anything changes later on, we know what we owe that person in that relationship. I know I'm in a relationship with somebody that really needs me to be next to them when they're eating or whatever. No matter what job I get, I'll make sure in the week I at least spend 2 nights with them eating for dinner or something like that. If you said that clearly in the beginning, then we will work around that. As opposed to not knowing what you want. It comes down to, do you know what you want, or do you know yourself? If you don't know what you want, you're just going to be enjoying that person's company. You don't even know exactly what you enjoy about their company.
Right.
Do you enjoy them because they smile because they make you smile, or do you enjoy it because they say certain things that really get to you? So you really have to be intentional on what you want from a relationship from the very beginning. But I feel like people that are so insecure, or like that needs to do a lot of work on themselves, they forget all that stuff and they just go with the flow. And then later down the line, then they start having problems. You know what I mean? And that's why I think if you're very intentional on your relationship and you're both willing to do the work from the very beginning, even when it's fun and all, you should be able to last longer.
Right.
Than just, because it's not gonna die out, because you had principles laid down. I don't like this. I like that. I love this. I really hate that. So you know that person and you know what they need. You provide that. Vice versa.
Right.
All right. But I have a question for you, real quick. Right.
Go ahead,
I saw a quote or whatever, a question. You should never have to spend your days wondering if you're good enough for somebody. You're enough. You are more than enough for the right person.
The moment you're doing the right person, that's it. Because I've come to realize that really though, when it comes to the word right person, when you feel like you're with the right person is to me is a person that actually knows exactly how to make me feel, not in a selfish way, happy. Like the person knows me, willing to make me happy. That way, like at the end of the day, if I'm with somebody that does not make me happy, I might sit around and keep thinking. I will kind of project the whole thing on myself, being like, man, am I the right person? Like, do I own the car that this person wants me to own? Like, if it becomes that external stuff that create happiness.
Right.
But the case is, if you find the right person, you begin to feel like, wait, I guess exactly who I am is what this person wants. I didn't have to go outside who I have to be in order to make somebody happy, or I'm not right for you, and begin to beat yourself up by words. But you could see if
Nah,
I'm
I think
making that point.
you made a few points. I
But
just
what-
didn't think about it like that,
Right.
you know. Because to me, I was like, yeah. I mean, you should believe that you're good enough
Right.
for the right person. That's how I was thinking about it. And then you just brought up a few other points. But even before, so I was thinking about that, and then I was like, nah, wait a second. Like you can't guarantee that you're good enough.
Right.
But because you emphasize on the right person, then it makes sense. Because I was gonna say that I mean, the right person. Like if you're a lazy person, there's no right. You still have to work on that.
Right.
There's no right person for that.
Oh,
right?
that's that right.
You know, like there's certain things. That's how I was thinking about it. Like there's certain things you really have to work on. If you're not good enough until you work on certain things.
Right.
If you're a liar, there's no right person for you. You have to work on stopping the lie.
There's no perfect person.
There's no perfect person for
Right.
you. Right. There's no perfect person at all. Right. In general. But so there's certain things. I feel like it comes down to like decency. Do you want to be a decent human being? Once you get on that journey as a person, then you can start saying stuff like this, like, "Oh, I'm good enough for the right person." Because otherwise, you might not be good enough for the right person. If you like to cheat, if you like to lie, if you like to steal, if you have all these things going on in your life, and you really believe, you read these quotes, you shouldn't believe in those quotes, because you need to go ahead and do your work on yourself. And be a good person for yourself, and then you're gonna be a good person for the right. You're gonna be good enough for the right person.
Right. I'm just gonna say this. My idea of compromising is not based on a person forcing you to change as much as they told you what they don't like, and you willingly said, "I want to step out." Understand that. That's that. But a right person is a person you could the keyword communicate with and be like, this is what I like. Like you said, spending time with you. I cannot, provide you this amount of time. I could do that, and they listen to it, and you're like, you know what? I understand you.
Right.
I like you. I like you for who you are. I know you're a busy person. I could do with that. I know you're this and that. I could do with that.
Right.
But you begin to realize these people, either they lie to you at the beginning and be like, oh, I'm cool with that. And then once you get in the relationship, they begin to act out. Or they just begin to demand stuff like, no, you can't spend that much time. Just recently, my pops was telling me something funny. He said that, I'm sorry if this is, I don't want to disrespect anybody, ladies or anybody. But he said that, not in a crazy way, but he said women are one of the, I don't want to use the funniest creatures, but it's like they are amazing in the sense that you need balance to deal with a woman. How? In terms of just time. Like she's like, if you get married to a woman, right, and maybe at the beginning, well, let's say you have your whatever job that takes a lot of your time, like say a doctor. If you work back to back, because if you're a doctor, they could call your phone, you're up. Right. So like it's like if you're a doctor, they're gonna be like, oh man, I'm married to this dude. He has money, whatever, but he has no time for me. Like, oh my gosh, he never has time for me. And that bothers them. You speak to your friends or whatever, or somebody they want to talk to their side. They be like, my boyfriend or my husband doesn't have time for me. On the flip, if they're with you and they are doing stuff and you're not doing anything, and you have so much time for them, like every day, like I'm down to do whatever.
Yeah, you too
much.
much.
My gosh, you don't do anything for yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta have something to do.
Can I get a break?
Exactly. So it's like, it's not easy to deal with a woman. As a man, if you want to deal with a woman and you're ready for it, you got to understand that even dealing with a woman, it requires some sort of balance. So at the bottom line, thinking you're the right person for the wrong person, thinking you're the wrong person for the right person, the whole thing is, from my point of view, if you find the right person, you could communicate things out. Communication is key. And then eventually you guys will come to the same, willing to meet each other halfway. That's basically what I'm saying.
But what about the people? You just reminded me of something. What about the people that can't communicate? Like they don't know how to.
You're on right. So anytime soon, that's it.
All right,
You got
that's
your
cool.
daddy.
Yeah.